Go.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. It's February 10th, 2022, and this is a meeting of Grey County Council. I call the meeting to order. And Madam Deputy Clerk, roll call, please.
Thank you, Mr. Worden. And we do have all members of council here except for Councillor Klumpus, and she will be joining us shortly.
Thank you very much. We'll turn next to our land acknowledgement. We acknowledge with respect the history, spirituality, and culture of the Anishinaabe, the Six Nations of the Grand River, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat, Wyandot peoples on whose traditional territories we gather and whose ancestors signed treaties with our ancestors. We recognize also the Métis and the Inuit whose ancestors shared this land and these waters. May we all, as treaty people, live with respect on this land and live in peace and friendship with all of its diverse peoples. Screen here, and next, declaration of interest. Is there any interest to be declared, pecuniary or otherwise? Seeing no hands, we will proceed. And I will just say that if one does come up during the course of the meeting, I would ask you to declare it at that time. We have some sirens going off in Hanover, so you'll put up with the noise in the background. Okay, item number 5, we're going to be adopting minutes. So first of all, County Council and Committee of the Whole minutes dated January 27th and Committee of the Whole budget meeting minutes dated January 28th, 2022. That is moved by Councillor Robinson and seconded by Councillor Bordignon. Any discussion? Councillor Soever.
Yes, with regard to the Committee of the Whole budget meeting minute resolutions from January 28th, in the budget on their supplementaries, it was recorded that 1.184 is the projection from 2022. I've since confirmed with our treasurer here that Blue Mountain's share of that projected based on our budget would be about 930,000 or about 88%. Now, we all know that 88% of the growth doesn't happen in the Blue Mountains. So I am concerned that, that number needs a little bit more investigation, but it's not critical. But I just like to point that out, that I'm also advised that there was no consultation with the our lower tier anyway on what our projection was, because certainly should our projection of supplementary be 930, then obviously the 1.184 for countywide, is probably an underestimation. And I believe also looking at just the data from the first year of COVID, that probably MPAC is behind in a lot of municipalities. So I do believe that there is room that number may be a little bit pessimistic.
Thank you, Councillor Soever. Madam CAO or Mary Lou, is there anything that you folks want to add to that? So
I'm hoping that Mary Lou, are you able to comment about our process and the numbers that we use?
Yes, I am. So through you, Mr. Worden. The number for the 1,184,000 comes directly from MPAC, and that has been confirmed by our tax consultant, MTE. What each individual local municipality budgets for supplementary taxation is based on their best estimates. So we are using the information directly from MPAC, and that's been our process.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Soever. Is there anyone else with a comment? If not, then I will call the question. Is there anyone opposed to approval? No hand showing. I'll say that is carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Next, we turn to item number 6, bylaw. And this is a bylaw to adopt estimates of the revenues and expenditures for the year 2022. It is moved by Councillor Milne and seconded by Councillor Mackey. Any discussion? Seeing none, I will call the question. Is there anyone opposed? If there be no hands, I will say that that also is approved. Item number 7 now, good news and celebrations. Councillor Hutchinson.
Thank you, Warden, and good morning, Council. I just want to do a shout out and congratulate Councillor Keaveney on her appointment to the 2022 County Economic Development. It was the position was acclaimed, and we're all looking forward to working with Shirley moving ahead. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for that, and congratulations to you as well in being elected Vice Chair. Councillor Soever.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Warden. So the good news from the Blue Mountains, and I'm sure maybe you've seen it already, most of you, is that the Ministry of Long-Term Care has provisionally provided us with an allocation of 160 beds. And those were allocated to the town for inclusion in an RFQ process that we are proceeding with very shortly. We've also hired a development manager, and the hope is that we've already had people calling with expressions of interest, because now that we have the beds and the land, we are looking for private sector partners to develop a long-term care home here in Eastern Grey County to serve the population not only of Blue Mountains, but also Grey Highlands. And Meaford. Meaford, obviously, they got some new beds recently, so I think this will go a long way to serving the people of this area. Population projections indicate that, and these were 2019 projections, indicate that we're going to have over 8,000 seniors over the age of 75 in within 30-minute drive of Thornbury. So, it's a very badly needed service. The other good news, well, I don't know if it's good news or not, but the Blue Mountains for municipalities over a population of 5,000, we were the second fastest growing municipality in Canada, with a growth of over 33% since 2016 in terms of population. So, it's news. People will have a different opinion whether that's good news or not so good news. It certainly poses a lot of challenges, and but it is a lot of growth. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Councillor Soever. On that long-term care project, it's certainly unique. Are there other examples of that kind of partnership?
No, it took a little bit of work to convince the ministry to do something that they don't normally do, which is allocating beds to a municipality. But we were able to show them that we had a plan, and we were willing to commit land, and so this is a new and innovative process. But I think it will have the best outcome, because as well as long-term care, we're asking proponents to provide attainable housing for the staff. Because as we know, in this area, house prices have soared, and if you're going to create, that'll be an extra 100 beds to what is already at Aaron so there's going to be a need for another 100 to 160 employees. So where will they live? And we all know that staffing was a big challenge for long-term care homes during the last pandemic, and by having the attainable housing on the same site, I think that will provide a much better outcome for our seniors.
Very good. Thank you for that, Councillor Soever. Certainly a feather in the cap for the town of the mountains. Councillor Keaveney, you're next.
Thank you very much, Mr. Warden, and good morning, everyone. And I just wanted to thank Councillor Hutchison for his kind words, and to share that Councillor Hutchison has been nominated and voted in as Vice Chair for Economic Development. So I look forward very much to working with you, Tom, and to share after Councillor Soever's comments that affordable housing was the main topic of conversation at our Economic Development Committee yesterday. So I would encourage anyone to listen in or check those minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Keaveney. Is there anyone else? I certainly know that there was a a good announcement about additional beds in the town of Hanover as well for long-term care. And just yesterday, there was some good news as well. Is that why you have your hand up, Madam CAO?
It is.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to advise council in case you hadn't seen the media release from MPP Walker's office that the province has invested a further $4 million into Georgian College in support of the new BSCN program. So I think that was really welcome by the college, and will certainly help them to continue with their plans for the renovation and equipping of the new classrooms there for that program. So really exciting and welcome news from the province in that respect.
For sure. Okay, I don't see any other hands, so we will then move on. Item number 8 is adjournment. It's been moved by Councillor Mill and seconded by Councillor Body that we adjourn. Is there anyone opposed to that? Seeing no one, we'll now adjourn. We'll take a second to just switch over to committee of the whole.